Number one issue impacting most workers right now, anxiety. An analysis of nearly 300,000 people shows that nearly a quarter of employees suffer from this mental health disorder. Anxiety even tops depression, stress, relationship or family issues, addiction, and grief. We can go on.
Yeah, and it can have a ripple effect across all areas of your life. So joining us now to help tackle anxiety in the workplace is leadership coach Kim Meninger. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we're seeing some numbers that anxiety is actually skyrocketing. I guess in 2017, it wasn't even in the top 5 mental health issues. What is driving it at this point?
Well, there are some obvious external forces like the pandemic, which brought a lot of disruption, the economic volatility and inflation that makes people worry about their jobs and living expenses. But there are also some ways in which our approach to work generates anxiety. So many of us who are high achievers, perfectionists, people pleasers, we really liked the safety and security of school. We liked the predictability. And then we get into the workplace and we realize there isn't one right answer for the problems we're trying to solve. And we can't predict all of the questions that are going to be asked. So it creates a lot of uncertainty, which makes us uncomfortable.
Yeah, it sounds like you described every Virgo, which I am.
Okay, Beyonce.
See, yes. What are some of the root causes, you would say, of anxiety at work?
So I think a lot of it is the uncertainty, unpredictability of the environment. We have a lot of changes with hybrid environments. Now people aren't working necessarily in the same space, so they don't know each other as well. They don't feel that sense of trust and connection. And we're just always worried about how we're performing. We're worried that we're not doing enough.
Okay, so how do you recognize the signs of anxiety and possibly what your triggers are?
Yeah, so I think what's really important is to pay attention to yourself in action. So when you feel those feelings of nervousness, we all know that the butterflies in our stomach, our heart's racing, right? What's going on in those moments? What are we noticing about the kinds of things that activate that within us? Because when we understand our triggers, we can better anticipate and prepare for them in the future.
And does the concept of imposter syndrome play a role in all of this?
Yes. So imposter syndrome is that fear that we're going to be found out, right? We're a fraud. We don't belong here.
Yes.
And even though that's not a clinical diagnosis, it still comes with a lot of anxiety. And so it's really important to recognize that when we're anxious, that voice that comes in and says you're a fraud is really just fear talking. It's really just a way of acknowledging that our brain has detected danger. So if we recognize that, we can appreciate it for what it's trying to do without accepting its message at face value.
So if we recognize that we are having an anxious moment, what are some things that we can do in that moment to kind of help us cope?
So I think there are 3 key steps that you can take. Number 1 is to breathe.
Oh, that part.
Yes, exactly. That definitely sends a message to our brain that we're not in danger.
I like number 2.
Number 2 is
sip your water, Candace. I tell him all the time.
Yes, keep a drink with you. It's a perfect pause button to slow you down and allow you to collect yourself.
She does say that every day.
Stay hydrated. And then number 3, speak slowly. It calms our nervous system and allows us to stay more in control of the situation. And when we get nervous, ask ourselves, what am I really afraid of? And that allows us to put a plan together to mitigate that fear.
At what point should somebody need medication when it comes to this?
Yeah, I think it's a good question because anxiety is a feature, not a bug. But if it's becoming disruptive, if we're losing sleep, it's affecting our relationships, we should really talk to somebody who's a professional.
All right. One last question for you. The Knicks or Boston Celtics? Just before we came on, I'm like, hey, are you a
She's
Knicks?
wearing blue, so we're going to say the Knicks.
I'm like, are you a Knicks fan? She's like, I'm from Boston. I'm like, okay, bye.
We'll give you a pass. You wore the beautiful blue dress for the Knicks.
Right.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
All right. And for more useful tips on surviving the workplace, you can check out Kim on Instagram, kim.meninger, right there on your screen.